So yeah, we'll just touch on WRS and then will your guys support me and Nick?
Yeah,
Nick the Mastic man.
definitely.
Yep. And then go from there really, and then just see where it goes. Happy?
Yeah, happy.
4 hours to go.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Right, we're here. Construction Sport Podcast, episodes, whatever number. We're a good time. Tristan Sharp, Nick Thurston, Tristan Sharp from WRS Contracts, one of the first people back in the day who got the support behind us, along with Sam Sharp, you see on the previous episode, to show, see what construction's about and where it's going to go. And Nick as well.
Seeing how many family members we can get involved with it.
Holly's an expert.
That's right.
The whole first series.
Right.
The whole
Yeah.
first series.
That's right.
And Nick, who people wouldn't have seen before, but Nick's played probably a bigger part in my life that he probably don't know about, would be good to discuss tonight. And probably at the heart of it might be my fault why construction sports here, when you think of the love of sport and where my football career started.
Wow.
And is now dragged into.
You're still hanging on to that one, mate.
Still plodding along, mate.
Still getting there. But Tris, WRS Contracts. Sam gave us a little bit before, but from your side, it'd be good to see it. See if it all marries up.
Well, we've been going for best part of 30 odd years now, 31 years. Me and Wendy, the wife, started it off on the tools, and it's just been, luckily enough, with obviously Sam coming on now, we've kind of got a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at that stage now where the construction industry is just a completely different place. But what we've done is, when you approached us, Steve, with that gun, and said, like, do you want to get involved in construction sport? It was just, I think it was like saying to Nick, it was the planets aligned. The mental health and men's mental health was just sort of starting to have a bigger impact in people's lives, and guys were starting to talk a lot more, be a lot more open. And when you came along with this great idea, it was just, we got to be on board with this. This is something that us as a company can get behind, and tick some boxes,
Yeah.
And we've actually had, an instance where we've been able to put what we know with regard to men's mental health into play in the workplace. So the things that you learn as you kind of go on, in construction, and with regard to our company and the way we operate our company, it was so good, because we were just able to put everything in place, what we all knew, and the signs that we were looking at with one of our managers, and it just really, really worked for us. So we're really glad and proud to be part of this, to be honest with you, Steve.
Yeah, massive thank you.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think once you guys, at the same time, the 4 founding members who kind of said yes to me, I thought, if these 4 guys have all said yes, there's something there, and it's just a numbers game of getting the rest of the.
That was a big step to do, though, because I'm sure a lot of people said no.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm
massively.
sure a lot of people said
I
no.
went through hundreds of people.
Yeah, so fair
and
play
still
to,
do.
but fair play to WRS for
Yeah.
Well,
supporting
he
you
had worked his way right way through the alphabet, and W was right
yeah,
low,
there is that,
It might as well have been the amount of places, and even to this day, it's been well, that would have been best part of 4 or 5 just before COVID, was it? Yeah, because we had that launch
about
night.
4
at
years ago,
Saracens.
Steve, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was kind of it. But Nick, so before we go into your sporting career, your sporting endeavours,
Yes.
construction career, and where is the construction in Nick first?
Well, the construction career started after the sporting career went south, so to speak.
Yeah.
As you know, I had Thurston Sports in the town in South Woodham for years and years. Then Reece took that over, took it over off me, and started running it himself. But basically, had a few sort of financial issues of my own, and the sports side of things went downhill. My wife and I then set up a sunbed shop in the town, and it doesn't really go well like a bloke working in a sunbed shop. We had the business, and I needed a job basically, and I had a few mates that did Mastic, and it's as most people know, it's one of the easiest things you can learn to do.
Do you think?
Yeah, right.
Listen. I've got a skills badge, right?
Yeah.
I have got a skills badge. I have got an MVQ, but trust me, it's the easiest thing in the world to do.
That's one more MVQ than me.
Well, there you go.
Ground worker.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Have you not got the
That's
silver
what I'm saying.
spade?
But no, it is what it is. We or people make it look easy, make it look good, whatever. But it's squirting silicon out of a gun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to big it up. It's an easy trade to learn. It's a bit like plastering, isn't it? If you know what I mean. You look at a plaster, you think, bloody hell, that's amazing. What is it? I mean, it's got that wall lovely. How's he done that? This, that, and the other. Silicon's very much the same, in my opinion.
How long does it take to go from, Nick, the ex-footballer, to the Mastic man?
Well, some people say I'm still learning now, and I've been doing it 20 years.
Is it that long?
I've been doing it. I've been
years?
doing it 20 years. I've been doing it 20 years this year. 20 years. Yeah. So I mean, you spend your first few months with someone, etc., working with alongside people, but then if your government trusts you enough, you get out on your own, and they trust you to go and do a job. And once you've done one, the world's your lobster, so to speak.
Because you was working with Big Mick, weren't you?
Mick
Manager.
Yeah. The other manager of the other team, Tristan's nemesis.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I was on the other side, putting the glass in with John Elgee.
So that was it. So that was J&S Fixings, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was J&S Fixings.
Yeah.
And then Mick, Johnny Elgee took J&S Fixings off Simon Cutts, and Mick took J&S Mastics.
Was it off Cutts? Was it?
Yeah, it was off Simon Cutts back in that was 80. 20. Yeah,
Simon or Andy?
Simon.
Oh, right.
That was my first ever job. Yeah, because John Elgee actually said we were going to Southampton. Within my first 3 weeks of my working career, was pretty much in between my GCSEs when I should have been revising, was Southampton, Cardiff, and Sunderland.
But that's another trade that isn't really a trade, isn't it? Window fixing.
Well, we do a lot with them on the tools who represent trades across the country, across the UK. And we had this chat the other day because I don't say groundworks is a trade either.
No. Probably not. No.
Yeah, but they were like, because they've decided from the market, but it was trades is everyone in the construction sector. I was like, well, you don't learn a trade of groundwork. You just go and dig.
Yeah, but does everybody see their trade as not a trade?
No, I
think Sparks see themselves as a trade, don't they?
I just think Sparks, plumber, carpenter, and then bricklayer.
They think they're the golden ones, aren't they?
Yeah,
but they bring in the Mastic men. They bring the Mastic men in to make all their work look good.
Exactly.
That's what happens.
Everybody's got their place.
Do your best, then cook the rest. So they say. You know what I mean?
Oh, is that a term?
There's one.
The first one out of the bag.
Plucks one out. But that is, isn't it? I mean, we go and put some people's work right. And they go, we've had this brilliant man. He's done. Man alive, the holes we have to fill up is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then they moan at you because you can't get it looking neat, and it's like you can't polish a turd. You can't. You know what I mean? It's only so much. Only so much you can do.
But finishing trade, tilers. I'd say that's nearly there. It's a trade. Would you class it?
Well, we just make plasters work look good, don't we?
There's gonna be so many.
Dry line.
This could run and run.
Yeah, can you erase my name? Yeah, my name's Nick Thurston.
But they're nothing without a Mastic man, are they?
Yeah, that's right.
He can't. He tiles a bathroom nice. If it's not sealed right, it's going to leak. You know what I mean? Flat downstairs gets wet. None
of it starts.
Everybody's in the tide, aren't they? In construction, everybody likes to moan about everybody else about how rubbish their work was before, and where everybody's got to make good everybody's work afterwards. Hey, we're all in the same trade. Let's
groundwork is for we enable everyone to go to work.
First man on site, last man off site.
It is, yeah. We say that. It actually works in the hours as well. We notice as well. There's a lot of sites even today. It was like 7. You're on site for 7, and by the time you finish by 5 o'clock,
there's twice you've sworn at me now, Steve. One about 4:30 a.m. and the other one about 7.
That's a long day. That's a long day. You wouldn't get Mastic men doing their mouths.
No, it's crazy, and that's literally you see that on all sites. I went to a house bashing site up in Suffolk a little while ago, and that was the same till 5. But you're watching all the other trades go.
Yeah.
And for some reason, usually it's when we get stuff done after 3 o'clock. When
everyone's not in your way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and even to the point that needs to be done. We can't lift that yet. Wait till after 3 o'clock. And then,
no one's looking.
Yeah, exactly that. But that is literally the way it is. I don't know why it's felt that way, and that's probably why it's not really that glorified. And it's fucking
But people are there's people making money doing Mastic online now.
Are they?
They are actually online doing videos. There's people getting millions and millions of literally.
There you go.
It's one of those
tens of thousands up to millions of hits.
Yeah.
Of someone just silicking a set of stairs or silicking a window.
Is that nostalgia? What's the word? Not nostalgia. It's probably the wrong word. We're not watching a bricklayer and you see just or plastering. What's the word? satisfied. Yeah,
Yeah,
seeing just that.
I've always admired I've got to be honest. I've always admired plasterers' work. You know what I mean? Mine is supposedly a finishing trade, supposedly a neat trade, but I must admit, I do look at some of what they do, and I couldn't get it like that. It would take years, I'm sure, to learn how to do that.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah. So you was a tiler then as well, then, weren't you, Tris?
Yeah. Got the scars to sort of like.
I had to carry him up the stairs. His knees are that bad.
That's right. Yeah, a bit disappointed you ain't got to stand a stair lift up there.
Yeah,
Steve,
he was asking. A man of his caliber walking upstairs.
Man, we age, right? Yeah, so unfortunately, it's funny. We were talking about all of this on the way here, about Nick's knees and my knees. I'm a metal knee man. I think you've
I haven't had
worked
one
through
done.
the
Yeah,
pain.
I just worked through the pain.
Mastic men are hard, don't they?
Yeah. It takes too long to recover.
That's right.
If it doesn't work, you're in trouble, aren't you? I'd rather know what the pain's going to be than have something done that I can't replace and repair again. I might as well just go with it.
I do wish sometimes that I wish I hadn't have had it done, but I think it was after, like what we said, you kind of, part of being self-employed was you kind of have these operations and you go, I can't see it home because there's no money coming in. So like 12 days after, what did I say, 12 days for me, or was it 4 weeks? So it was a short period of time.
Listen, you was off longer than me. I was off for about 7 days. I had an arthroscopy and then 7 days. I had to get back to work. No money coming. I'm
back to work on your hands and knees, and it just, and then later down the line, you're just like, oh shit, this is really hurting. You know what I mean? And then you go and see a specialist. Oh, you're a bit young to have a metal knee. It's like, I just want to enjoy my life now, mate. I've got my stripes. I've done my hard graft. I just want an easy life now. So just give me what I can have.
Listen, his car's an automatic. That's how bad his knees are. His car's an automatic.
Fair play. So Nick, going back to that construction side then.
Yep.
Go on the sports side. So before, you was obviously a Mastic man. You was in the sports world.
I was.
Before you had the sports shop, football was your game?
Yes, it was.
Where did the football career start?
Football career started.
So it's back to day one.
Day one started, and it was very nice. Maybe we'll come to it later. We had the game at the weekend, and my 2 first ever football managers turned up, and it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. Eric Johnson and Mick Fry turned up. They were my managers back in 1976 for Woodham Radars.
It was Woodham. Woodham
through and through. Yeah, I was born in Woodham.
Yep. Was you always at the chasing where your dad was?
Yeah, always at
Elm Road.
I was born in Woodham. Yeah, born in Woodham. So the old school Woodham. Yeah, I'm now 54 years. And my next door neighbour, Wally Hatt, again, older people in Woodham will remember Wally used to do boxing. Used to do the boxing club back in the day.
I remember the name. But
Wally Hatt.
Yeah.
Well, he used to. He's that's a great name, isn't it? Come on.
Someone from Only Fools and Horses.
Listen. If you know Wally, he was.
Yeah, I know.
If you know Wally, he was like that. And but anyway, he had older kids, and they used to go train. He used to run a Radars team, probably 2 or 3 years older than me. Me being the little boy, wanted to go and play with the bigger boys, and went down and blah blah blah. And I could do it. I could play, and I started playing a couple of years above myself, etc. etc. Stayed at Woodham Radars until I was 3rd year at school. So 3rd year senior. So I was at Woodham Radars all them years. And then it started getting, it wasn't like today where kids get scouted at bloody 6 months old and they sign academy forms at 2 and my son's going to be the next Ronaldo. It wasn't like that. There was no academies. There was no clubs that were taking people on.
Yeah.
But I needed to move on to get sort of, in my eyes, to get broaden my horizons. So I went to Rady Boys.
Didn't they have games in them days?
It's always been a game, Tris. It's always been football, mate.
I used to remember them. They used to send scouts down. Clubs used to send scouts down to watch,
but they used to turn up in long mats, and some of them used to have clipboards that's made out like anyone could do it. I'm a scout. It was ridiculous.
Suspect nowadays.
Yeah, now
it's
long
gown. I wondered where that one was going.
Hair swept over. It was dangerous time. Can you send your boy with me?
That's right.
Flashes back.
But no, they did kind of. But Woodham. But the thing is, Woodham, and again, down to geography, Woodham was the area of Woodham. It It's South East Essex, then it was North Essex. It didn't have its own district.
No.
So I was at school in Rayleigh. I was the last year that didn't go to Willie D. If you know what I mean. So the year after me went to Willie D. So I was going to Rayleigh Swain School. So
was that where everyone went?
Yeah, everyone went to Rayleigh Swain.
Yeah,
So we used to get the bus from outside. It was either outside the Ferries Arms, that was now the railway.
Yeah.
Or the school, Woodville School, where I went. I went to Woodville School. So we used to get bus there to Rayleigh, and that was it. So obviously the kids I was playing with were playing at a slightly better level at Rayleigh. So I joined Rayleigh Boys. Yeah. Was there for a year in the fourth year at school. Yeah, fourth year at school. So I left third year, did fourth year at Rayleigh Boys. Then went to Benfleet Youth. Yeah. And out of our Benfleet Youth team, 6 or 7 of us become apprentice footballers. So it was one of them. Yeah, it was one of them teams that was kind of put together as a glory boys type team. You know, so 6 or 7 of us become apprentices, and I think 3 of us signed pro out of that squad. We went to, there was Colchester, Southend, Fulham. I think one might have gone to Orient. I'm not too sure, but yeah. So out of that team of Benfleet Youth, 6 or 7 of us went on to clubs, and we were as a good team. We was a put together type team.
Woodham's had some great people, really, isn't it? It's for a little town.
For such a small town. It's for such a small town. But and it sounds like hot air up my arse. But for many years, I was the only one that had ever gone on to play football. And when you think how many kids there are in Woodham, there should have been a lot more. Yeah, you know what I mean. I can think of Gary Cross.
Yeah,
Gary Cross went Southend, signed pro.
Did he? Yeah.
Matty Fisher did an apprenticeship, and I think Jamie Fisher did apprenticeships at Southend. Yeah. James Harper.
Yep.
Do you remember him?
Yeah, Craig and James.
Craig. No. He had
Luke. That's Luke and Craig.
Yeah.
So
James Harper. He was. I coached him as a kid. Used to come to soccer schools. He was outstanding. He was one of them.
Was he? Yeah.
He was God-given talent. You know what I mean? You know, I'd like to claim that I made him the player he was. No chance. Yeah. He just had it. He just had it. I haven't spoken to James in years. I'd love to catch up with him. Haven't spoken to him in years.
We'll find him. This will find him. This will find him because he was and not only that, he was a lovely boy from a lovely family as well. Yeah. And basically, he was at Arsenal. He was at Woodham Radars under Johnny Fisher. Yeah, I remember this now. Actually, yeah. Johnny Fisher, and all that crowd. It was Gary Cross's year as well. And he was at Arsenal, and he was scouted at Arsenal, and he went on to have a good career at Arsenal, but left Arsenal, signed for Reading, and he played in the Premiership for Reading, and he had a great career. I remember my brother mentioned the name. He was good, yeah. Because your uncle was involved in David. Was involved, Dad's cousin, uncleish. David was Tottenham back in the day, or Swindon. Yeah. Michael was at Fulham. His brother done a scout at Fulham. Because he used to Dave used to coach with Justin Edinburgh. Yes, they're very close. Friends. Yeah, very good friends. And they went to Gillingham together. They were there together. Yeah, and then it was around the same time. I think David was with Malky Mackay before that, and then met up. With because they'd done a lot in the youth at Tottenham together. Yeah, as well, they were like one was managing, one was coaching. Yeah. And it's a kind of sad story. Obviously, Justin passed away a few years ago, like sadly with a heart attack. And since when he passed, our group of apprentices all got back in touch. Did they? And we now meet probably once, 2 or 3 times a year, maybe. Yeah. We're all on a WhatsApp group, and it's so sad that it had to be Justin passing. Yeah. That led to that. His son set up the Justin Foundation. He's got the foundation going. Yeah. Yeah, because I believe the family are very close friends. I think very close friends with David's family. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. All close. But it's registered in Chelmsford the other day actually, because they help people get defibrillators. Yes, he does a lot. They're trying to do that, like Justin's Law thing, aren't they? To try and get, I believe so, trying to get defibrillators into all gyms and all things like that, which is a great thing. Yeah, it's a great thing. Yeah. Like I say, but unfortunately, him passing led to us all reconnecting, and it's such a small world. One of our guys, Spencer Pryor, who had a stellar career, played, I believe, Leicester, Norwich. I believe he played in the Prem. He lives in Australia, and he lives. My boy's in Australia. Lives in Australia. He lives a stone's throw from my son. Wow, really? Yeah. Honestly, I got a photo of there. I got talking with Spencer, and on my life, I did it on Google Maps, and it's like 8-minute walk. Jesus.
And
Yeah.
8-minute walk away from a boy,
Yeah.
which is good with my situation that Billy's got someone so close.
Yep.
I was going to say, you could be when he said around the corner in Australia, it's probably like 22 days drive away.
That's what I'm saying. That's
just around the corner, mate.
That's why you can't make it up. That's why you can't believe it. I showed. Look, that's where we called him Spinner. Like that's how far Spinner lives away from my boy, and it's like it's ridiculous.
That's another South Woodland thing, I think, because I remember going to a sister's party. One of my sister's friends was somewhere, and they said they went to Florida and bumped into Lee Guest. He said, "I've gone all that way, and I can't get away from South Woodland."
Yeah, no, it does happen. But yeah, so Spinner's at him, and Spinner's. We were hoping to have my boys coming home for Christmas.
Yep.
And we're hoping to all meet up, all the group of us, the apprentices, home game for Southend on the 14th of December.
Amazing.
So the club are trying to put that together.
That'd be nice.
Sort of as a little like a group of apprentices. Obviously, because of my situation, we're going to do a little thing. Sort of they're going to, they're going to look after me and the lads basically, which is a lovely. The club are being wonderful.
Yeah.
Spencer knows the chairman, which is obviously a touch. And Davey Crown, ex Southend striker, he's organising it as well.
Superb.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a lovely day. If as you said earlier, if the stars align, that it works. Billy gets in on the 13th, which is my birthday. The game is on the 14th.
Yeah. Plug.
Yeah, just if everyone wants to send a gift, you know what I mean? I'm willing to an Amazon wish list. Right. Amazon wish list, stand a stair lift for him. But if it all works out, it'll be a lovely thing.
Yeah, so. That's superb. So then the football was there then. So when did you played for Southend?
Played for Southend, yep.
Yeah.
I was at Southend when I was doing the Benfleet youth thing. And Rayleigh Boys, to be fair, I was travelling to Southend training, but there was no money in football back then.
So it really was Sky that brought money into football? Yeah, there been some before?
We were pre-Sky.
Yeah.
I was 13, 14 training at Southend, and I can remember being sent home, like the group of us, because they couldn't afford to put the lights on for us to train in the evening.
Was it? Yeah.
There was on my life.
Was it 91 the Prem, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It would have been around then, because I remember my dad was on the Sky, got his Sky box, and I was
that's when money came, because we played football because we wanted to play football, not because we wanted to be. My first pro contract was for £75 a week.
I see you put that up the other day, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I put a picture of that. Was a letter from Bobby Moore.
Oh, was it?
That was a letter from Bobby Moore asking me to be an apprentice, and that was £27.50 a week.
Yeah.
And now you've got 12-year-olds probably earning $2,000 a week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or their parents getting a cut, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my first wage was £27.50, went up to 30. It was YTS scheme. Then we went up to £35, and then when I signed pro, it was for £75 a week. Can you imagine that nowadays?
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
It's another the things from the past, the YTS.
YTS, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were all,
that was like academy
youth training.
Well, it was basically it was apprenticeships. I'm sure they had YTS in the construction industry. I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
They did, didn't they? You was in it then. Did they have it then? I'm sure they did.
Gee, I'm not that old.
No, I'm sure you was around. I'm sure there was YTS builders.
There was tiles.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, there would be. Yeah.
So we was. But the reason that was because clubs couldn't afford to pay us as apprentices. Nowadays apprentices are on thousands.
Yeah. And like you say, and the parents who's been
they get bought houses. Get bought houses. I mean, you see kids in gardens now training.
You think like Ronaldo's son be getting, they'd be thinking he's going to be coming through, hasn't it? Yeah.
But it's scary. But as I say, my growing up with football was getting a ball, juggling it down to the village hall. And that was my thing. I used to get a ball, juggle it down to village hall, and I just spent hours kicking the ball against the wall.
Did you?
Just on my own. Your friends seem to disappear because I just wanted to play football. It was one of them little stories. I wanted to play football.
Yeah.
And fortunately, it worked. But it ended because my knee packed up basically.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah. Signed pro.
How old was you then? When
I was 18, 19. I'd signed pro, and it was the pre-season of my first pro year. And it was a wonder, really, because it was a pre-season friendly against Enfield. And it was one of them. I was always a bit of an all-in kind of guy. And the ball got knocked to a forward, got laid back to me, and I've smashed it, basically. I've smashed it. The geezer's come through me and smashed my leg up a bit. I've gone down injured. It was a penalty. By the time we'd taken the penalty and scored, I was still being carried off.
Yeah.
Yes, they overtook me. They overtook me. They overtook. I'm being carried off, and they overtook me. It's like,
Dragged.
and then
dragged
it's just
out the
yeah,
filthy pitch.
and then it's just getting over that, and I just couldn't get it right. My knee just didn't really work. That.
Did you know then, or did you think, or
No, I was. No, I still had hope. I still had hope that I could play, but
I think again, it's like, you know, it's where you were then to where you are, to things where they are now, with regard to aid and recovery.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, oxygen tents.
Yeah,
and
but but
all
even
this.
that,
It
none
was
of us.
probably a sponge and a bit of Raljix
Well,
and
on my-
shake it
on
off,
my-
son, you'll be all right, wouldn't it?
On my
You
life.
know?
So hopefully some of the lads I played with will catch this. We had a physio, Buster Footman. Right, now, trust me, the man. Listen,
Have you come out with all the joke names tonight?
no, Buster Footman was real. Buster Footman was real. Listen,
James
that
Bond
bottle,
characters.
that bottle knew more about physiotherapy than he did. Right, trust me. It was either a bit of hot and cold, right, which was bucket of water hot, bucket of water cold. That'll sort your ankle out. That was one. A wobble board. He loved the wobble board. Right, trust me. Right, if you got a sore hip, Buster will get you on the wobble board. Right, and on my life, I did my knee, and within 3 days, he had me running up the stands at Southend.
really knew something?
Yeah, he knew he was never going to come back
you're not
from
supposed
it.
To be, you're not supposed to be really. He had me running up the stands. It's like, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. We've done this. It's like, no, Buster, this can't be right, mate. This can't be right.
Jog it off.
You know what I mean? Run it off. No, he was proper old school. He was proper on my life. If it couldn't on ultrasound, he didn't. He couldn't even turn the machine on.
Yeah.
Right. And he's rubber. Get a bit of this gel, and he put a bit. Ultrasound for everything. They do that for babies, don't they?
Yeah.
Not for ankle injuries.
There's something
You know
in
what I mean?
there.
They do it for babies.
heartbeat.
Oh yeah, there is something in there.
On my
A broken ligament.
Yeah,
A load of ligaments
On
hanging
my
on
life, bless him. He just didn't know that much about it.
Yeah.
But my knee didn't fix really, and then I've obviously I've been through some old paper clips, and there's a bit where I made a comeback. I made a comeback against someone, and there's a nice write-up of me in the paper and this, that, and the other. And there was a quote from me saying, I don't want to be labelled as the guy who's always injured, the player that's always injured, because there's nothing worse. You're
Sick
in,
note.
you're sick note.
Yeah.
All the lads are coming in, and you're on the bench as well. And when it's a knee, you should really be able to run it. You should be able to run it off. Do you know what I mean? But it weren't right. My knee weren't right, and then it didn't work. My knee just sort of kind of gave up on me. And then you started losing love. I lost the love of football,
It
really.
becomes a chore then.
Yeah, because you know what I mean. It was everyone's enjoying it, and part of the being a footballer is the camaraderie. And when the camaraderie is people chucking their underpants at you because you're still on the sick note, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a bit depressing, you know.
Yeah.
But that, you know, listen, the best years of my life. They were the best 3 years of my life. It was an amazing experience.
And a cracking collection of underpants, by the sound
Mate,
of it as well.
on my life, you know what I'm saying. It's like the camaraderie, and it shows that now 30. What was I 16 to 8, 16 to 19,
100%.
and we now we met up only a couple of. I've got some photos on me. Maybe you can put them up. Well, I've got some photos on my phone. I will do that.
Right.
We met up only recently in Rayleigh. There was,
Testing your skills
I
now,
think, you got to put it out there. There was, I think, 16 of us turned up.
Yep.
One lad missed the photograph, Paul Smith. Another one who had a stellar career. He's even got a bar named after him at Gillingham. He's played that. I think he played 300 odd games for Gillingham. The man was an absolute superstar. We all met up, but 30 odd years later, and there's a group of apprentices still meeting up and talk, and we talk about the old times and the old stories. And it's just wonderful.
We found it with everything. We've actually sat down the last few months and seen, say, with the football, that's the group with every sport we've done, or walk, or football match, rugby, golf is another one. It's created a WhatsApp group. It's created a community straight away, and you can see that. And you don't need to touch. I mean, probably touch base. Like even Sam and Jeff come in last week, and we haven't probably sat together since a year ago. I know it's not as long. But you're sitting having a laugh about that 3 days that we've done London to Paris last year. The little stories that pop up.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, the nostalgia. I think that's what we realised. That the power isn't in the sport itself; it's the community.
That's right.
That comes
the camaraderie.
with it. That comes with it.
Camaraderie.
Like I say, we was there, and there was this couple having a drink, and she sort of caught me. Like they caught me on. They said, have you all met up to? And I explained it to them. They couldn't believe it. They was in awe that you know, after all these years, we're still mates. We're still and we weren't all mates all the time. You know what I mean? You know, there was friction.
But then that makes the
you know what I mean? The banter
Yeah.
about when you give him a dig, and you know what I mean? And it's just. But it's sport. It's what brings people together. It's like you say, it's the love of sport, and it's the story that goes behind it. Like you say, it's brilliant. It's superb.
Superb. So then Southend come to an end.
Yes.
And then it went to had to find a job.
Obviously I had the sports shop.
You had the sports shop.
So the sports shop was running alongside. So I had
was
that.
it? Okay.
Yeah, the sports shop was sort of running alongside. So I had that for a few years.
Thurston Sports.
That was.
What a place. I heard they had a deal with Predators before David Beckham did. That was everything.
Right,
Even my life now, you talk about Predators, go to Thurston Sports.
That's right.
That's right. You're going to be on the list of people, wouldn't you? Yeah, special treatment.
Well, Predators were good. I never really got them myself, but they were good.
Yeah, you would have been the first ones come through. Yeah, I remember seeing them.
I did get given a set that David Beckham was given.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. He did some advert, and one of the reps had them, and it basically gave me a pair of his. I wore them. In fact, I should have kept them, shouldn't I?
Walk up the chase, kicking the kick
No,
up.
yeah. I wore them. I wore them to try. I wore them. I've still got them. I got them out the other day.
Yeah.
Because someone wanted to borrow a pair of shoes, boots at the
Worn by David Beckham as well.
They were worn by because he's got one size bigger than the other. One's an 8, one's an 8.5.
Yeah, I remember him saying
that. So that was my little test that they are the genuine ones.
Yeah.
And I wore them. When I used to coach you lot as kids, the Predator trainers that I wore were his.
Yeah,
that's what I wore.
Was it?
Yeah,
that was so good. So when it's the same that because you had Thurston's the sports shop, but then obviously the famous soccer school come.
Yeah, well, again,
when was the first year of that? Because
that was 1990.
Was it?
19.
Yeah.
Again, dug out some photographs of that. The coaching squad was myself, Matt Jones, Justin Edinburgh, and Paul Nord.
Justin Edinburgh was there.
Justin Edinburgh was the coach.
Really?
Yeah, he was one of the coaches. Yeah, that was the year he signed for Spurs. He signed for Spurs 1991.
Yeah.
And he lived in Woodham. He lived in Dewsbury Place. He lived in Woodham.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, but again, Matt Jones moved to Woodham. Yeah. Justin moved to Woodham. Obviously, I lived in Woodham. Mickey Nall lived in Woodham. So there was a little sort of a.
But Mickey Nall was a top follower then, was he?
Sorry,
Mickey Nall. That's a Mastic. Mick.
Yeah, Mastic. He was an apprentice at Southend as well.
Yeah, sorry, you see his name now. Two and two together.
And obviously Paul Nall's Hubs. Obviously, so we all lived in Woodham. So Justin bought his first place in Woodham. So he lived in Woodham as well. So it was a little. That was it. I put the soccer school together, and it was like. Handpicked set of coaches here. We can all kick a ball.
Yeah.
And so that was it. So that was the first one, 1990.
Yeah.
And there was still there's some pictures. Did you see the picture? Nigel Hughes is in the picture.
Yeah.
There's some old names that are still around.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Well, that's amazing. The 1990.
I bet Sam was the goal. I mean, I think I done a goalkeeper season 1 week. I done the goalkeeper one.
Yeah.
Sam was in the same. Me and Sam were in the same.
Yeah,
one.
but that's the. I mean, that all them. I mean, it started in 90, and yet. Our kids, so
that would
you're same age as Sam.
Yeah, what was the youngest age you come in there? 5, 6 years old.
Yeah, 5, 6. Yeah.
So
94,
90 was Sam's 92. Sam's born 92, so it would have been 97, and that was still going strong.
Yeah.
You know, and not only was it a place could you sort of unload the kids for 6 weeks.
A lot of parents did do that.
Yeah, that's right.
So
babysitting service.
How long was it? Because it was May Bank Holiday week.
No, we did. We used to definitely try and do 2. We
was that?
1 year we did 3, but it was definitely the May Bank Holiday.
Because that's my birthday, it's May 31st.
Yep.
I remember I finished my birthday.
That was the Whitsun one,
Whitsun weekend.
Whitsun weekend. So we used to either time it that it was like we blanked the Bank Holiday Monday and then do the Saturday.
Yeah.
Or we did the Monday and just did it through the week. But it varied. It wasn't set in stone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the May one, and then we always did one in the summer. So it was definitely so.
I remember it. So people who don't know, obviously, listen to this, so I don't really care about them. We're enjoying ourselves. But yeah, it was the thing that you get the ball, and then you had your ball all week.
Yeah,
the mitre balls would come when we were there, and you had it all week, and then you'd have your age groups, wasn't it? But then you went to penalty competition.
We did penalty competition,
skills competition, but then the World Cup.
The World Cup was
awesome.
Everyone loved the World Cup because we mixed the ages.
That was the thing.
You got like little tots with the big boys, and obviously we had to sort of try and handicap it a bit, so that you had to make sure that it was fair, and it often worked out fair to be fair.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, it did work
so
out.
good, and you got given a country, didn't you? So you were that country.
Yeah, and it was done. And to be fair, I got give much credit to Matt Jones for doing that because he was the brains behind that one. He used to sit and do. Yeah, I left that side of it to him. He used to run it. I was sticking to coaching. Let him do the brains.
It was so good, yeah. Because year on year, they just go. I used to always fight against Josh Craden.
Josh Craden.
Yeah, he's passed away now.
Sadly passed away.
A few years ago, poor lad. But yeah, I remember always going up against him in the finals, mainly of the penalty shootout, and it was kind of one,
it was good. It worked out good. I mean, Josh's mum was a registered childminder, wasn't she?
Oh, was she? Yeah.
And she used to volunteer her time. She was my unofficial childminder type thing because obviously I had some young kids there. Yeah. And obviously you need to like safeguard, etc., etc. So she used to give up her time, just be there the whole time. Yeah. And, didn't want nothing for it.
Joe was
what a different world that was back then, wasn't it?
It was so much easier. Yeah, but nowadays I think you'd struggle. You'd struggle. Basically, I changed the name from Nick Thurston Soccer Schools to Premier Soccer Schools.
Okay, yep.
Obviously in keeping with the Premier League.
In keeping with the Premier League. And no, when I first came out of Southend, I can't. People knew I'd played football. Do you know what I mean? But then 2 or 3 years down the line, it's who's that? Yeah. Who's that fella? He's that bloke from the sports shop. It's just him. Yeah. So then we went.
But don't forget you had the car park.
Well,
Thurston's car park. That's always known as Thurston's car park.
That is an amazing thing. People still call it Thurston's.
100%.
They still call it that, don't they?
Yeah, and you do, and I say it without putting two and two.
That's right. Yeah,
it's Thurston's car park. Yeah, we should rename it.
We should need a blue plaque.
Come on, Construction Sports should get a plaque sorted out. Here was Thurston's car park. So it is, isn't it? Where are you picking me up off school, Mum? Thurston's car park.
We'll get one of the big blue plaques.
That's right.
That's right. Sacred places in London.
Yeah, we should do that. But again, Steve, there is a certain generation of kids, isn't it? Kids. Yeah. Certain generation, you guys, that nowadays that would mean nothing to kids nowadays, would it? But there's a certain generation of you lot that still
hang on to it. We
I'm proud of it.
We don't let go, mate. And why should you not be?
100%.
Why should you not be?
I'm proud of it. You know what I mean?
It was everything, wasn't it? First, we had a big white bomber.
What did you not go to Thurston Sports for? Nothing. I mean, Thurston Sports. Used to go there and you could have whatever name you wanted. You were Theodora. You could have your name, whatever name you wanted on the back of your shirt. Yeah, as long as it was West Ham.
Yeah,
there was
West Ham. Sell a lot of West Ham shirts.
That's right.
The shop was definitely a push.
You could park in Thurston's car park.
Outside.
I mean, it was a one-stop shop.
I don't ever recall getting an Arsenal shirt from there.
No, we did sell a few. Although I have got an embarrassing story. We did spell Vieira's name wrong on an Arsenal shirt once. I missed out the eyes. It's got another I in it, and it's got another I in there somewhere, and I messed it up.
It is V-I-E-R-I-A.
Well, I remember.
Soppy Watts.
I remember you doing every single one of my kids' kits in there.
Yeah,
well, every single one. Then all the clubs went to you for the kit.
Yeah, we sold all the kits,
wholesale kits.
Yeah. And again, the shirt that I think one of the shirts, the Whalebone shirts that were being used at the weekend. Resent me a message. I remember printing them. Yeah, we printed them.
Yeah.
So, we did.
And that clip I sent you over today,
yes,
the brothers team.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that picture.
So they won at Roots Hall, whatever year that was. It would have been late 90s, I suppose. Isn't it? They won at Roots Hall.
Because who was that manager? Steve
Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah, Tim Harvey's son.
He was a lovely fella, Steve. He was a lovely fella.
Yeah, policeman.
Yes, he was a policeman.
Yeah,
and his son used to come and help me coach at Collingwood School. Actually, what's his boy's name?
Tim.
The one who's in the picture.
Yeah, that would have been Tim. In the team, it would have been Garvey.
He was a great lad.
I don't know why it's Garvey. It's Tim Harvey. Then it was Garvey. But
he used to come and help me at Collingwood School. Just get a bit of experience in coaching. You know what I mean? Because again, I did it around the schools as well. I did the coaching around the schools as well. I did put myself everywhere, really, to be fair.
God, you did sell your body everywhere.
I was
dragging his first name out.
I've rang that dry, haven't I, really?
It's like surrogate. Is it like surrogate car parks around Essex?
I'll take the car park with me. I'll be happy with the car park. I'm pleased with the car park.
I'll take you with
I can't believe you still brought that up. That's brilliant.
Did you ever do any rugby? You did do a few rugby things, boots. And
we sold rugby stuff. Oh no, we did. We did sell the rugby stuff. We did do it. Yeah, the balls up the top and the little things. But we did do the rugby stuff. But they were a different crowd, the rugby crowd, didn't they?
Yeah.
They had their own wholesale suppliers.
Everything was Fenton Sports.
Exactly.
Fenton. That's right. Yeah, but Nick, but don't forget, Nick was like in cahoots with Club Woodham. Yeah, anybody want a squash racket? all go to Thurston Sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like-
socks.
yeah, that's right.
Thurston
Thurston Sports.
Yeah,
You know,
squash
that's right,
balls.
squash balls.
We was big
Thurston
on squash
Sports.
balls. Me and
Was
Reece,
it? Yeah.
me and Reece were big on squash
So was
balls.
it Southern Leisure Centre?
Yeah,
Was it?
well, it might have been, but it's always Club Woodham, isn't it? It's always Club.
It's Southern Leisure Centre.
Was it Southern
Was it
Leisure
the
Centre? Or
Yeah. Am I wrong?
You might be right. You might be right. But even there's a weird tie up there because
It was actually.
the people who owned that
was,
originally was one of our wholesalers. The family that owned that, I think it was the Guppy family, I believe.
Really, yeah.
Jupp,
Juppy.
part of the Jupp family, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of their cousins, distant cousins, uncles, aunts.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah.
think they owned the squash club that was originally.
Okay.
And then obviously Adam took it over with Ross, which has got to be what 20. That's probably
Yeah.
18.
It's got-
20, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a
And the
good.
rest, I wouldn't be surprised.
know
if
what I
it's
mean?
25, 30 years.
So Adam took. I mean,
25
he changed it. He's changed it massively. Yeah, well, let's be fair, it's forever changing, isn't it? But
Yeah, well, I went up there last week actually,
Yeah.
and it was, I did not expect that. You know, I didn't know where to go. To be honest.
No,
It's been a while.
yeah, me too. I
Yeah,
went in there
fair play.
I went in there a week before, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean?
Constantly
It makes you feel
investing.
guilty that you've not been around.
Yeah, it
you
did
know
a
what I
little
mean?
bit, yeah.
Feel a bit guilty that you've not been there, you know. But
Yeah.
it's amazing, absolutely amazing transformation.
Yeah, superb.
But yeah, so I did that, and ended up building basically. After
Yeah.
that.
So when it all chips are down, construction
Well, no, it
helps out.
It does help out, and
No,
it's
no,
similar.
You did have, you know, you had a. Again, it was just the wrong time for everything with the sunbed shop, wasn't it?
Well, we had the sunbed shop, and basically, we got kicked in the Watsits by the cancer scare.
Cancer,
That
that's
was.
right,
There was
yeah,
a
that's
massive
right,
cancer
yeah.
scare, and we
Skin
was
cancer, wasn't it?
probably 3 or 4 years pre-Towie when everyone wanted to be that colour.
Oh, yeah, so it could have just held, if it could have held on.
But
yeah,
but you know the bills got too much. We ended up we ended up losing a lot of money.
There's a lovely
I'll
floor
tell
in
you
the
what.
cafe.
I'll tell you what. Some fella tiled the floor, and he did a fantastic job. And I don't know who it might have been.
Is it still there?
Yeah, he tiled the floor.
Actually,
He
I think
tiled
it's
the
one of
floor.
my last ones.
Yeah, he tiled the floor. He tiled the floor. It's still there. The
is,
calf
yeah,
love
yeah.
it. The calf
That's
love it.
right.
Yeah, no. So obviously went into construction. Mick gave me a job. I'll help you. He helped me out. Basically, I always said that he's the one guy that if ever I won the lottery, I'd have to pay his mortgage off first because I was on my arse and he's given me a job. And it was like one rule, and they called me Froggy. And I was notorious for being late for going out. I'd always.
Can I just say, where does Froggy
'cause
come from?
I-
Everybody is asking
Your
me
daughter asked me
where
this.
is
John
Froggy
Elgin
come
used to speak about Froggy all the time, and I didn't have a clue. And it was only when we used to pop into Sweethearts, and then the two
I
and
thought it
two
was
come
not because
together.
you
I
like
went,
them little chocolate frogs.
No,
Freddos.
it's a dull story. It's a really
Oh,
dull story.
God. Oh,
Honestly,
yeah.
it's
I've
a
only
dull
got-
story.
We're
Froggy's car
50
park,
minutes
is
into
it?
this.
Yeah, 50 minutes into it. Like, honestly, dull story. Basically, we was apprentices at Southend, first year apprentice, and it was from them days, pre-season training, and we was shattered. And they did used to beast us. They proper again. It was in the days when you didn't have monitors on the back of your neck telling you how dehydrated you were.
Yeah.
They just run you until you were sick.
There is
Yeah,
construction sport,
yeah.
yeah,
No,
that's
this is going
fantastic
down
also.
well. But no, but we weren't allowed that back then. It was like, no, run till you're sick. It was like that. It was old-fashioned, old school. And we were doing a pre-season training. It was at Priory Park, and we finished the session off with a inner circle, doing some exercises, press-ups, blah, blah, burpees. We were doing burpees. So I was basically jumping up and down like that and just kept landing like a frog.
Yep.
Just landing on my hands, like that. And Kevin Locke, ex-West Ham, who was my coach at the time, the most influential person on my football career, Kevin Locke, absolute gentleman of a man. He's just gone, he looks like a frog. Thought nothing of it. About 3 or 4 days later, he's put the job rotor up on the wall, and he's just gone. It was Justin. It was like I worked with him. It's like Justin Edinburgh, Froggy, and that was it.
Yeah.
And it's just stuck. It's
Yeah,
Froggy.
really.
It was only when this football game
That
came
everyone-
to fruition that everybody's.
Yeah.
We were like, who is this Froggy?
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying.
You know,
it used to be only the football crowd that called me Froggy.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
LG and that.
Oh, the
It used to be only the
clique.
football crowd. To everyone else, I was like Nick Thurston from Small Shop, like Thurston. It weren't Frog Car Park, was it?
Brilliant.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Change
So-
the
so-
first letter for a D. I mean, you might be right.
But yeah, no. So it's a dull story, and that's really how it. That's honestly that's how it come back. Kevin Locke stuck it on the job sheet.
We'll cut that out. We'll do a really amazing
Yeah,
story.
do a really amazing story. Do a really fantastic story. I was doing these leaps all
He
over
ran
the place.
across the water.
Yeah, like a frog. Jumped over everyone, headed it in like a... No. That was it. That was it, basically.
Yeah.
So that was it.
There you go, Mickey and all.
So, Mick gave me the job. The only rule was that you're not to be late, because I was notorious for being like going out for a night out. I'd be 20 minutes late, half hour late. I was useless. That was the only rule. Don't be late, and that was it. And never was. You know what I mean? Mick is a stickler for timekeeping, and that was it. That was the only rule, and that's all you needed to learn to be a Mastic man.
Yeah.
So basically, that was it. He gave me a job. And the rest, as they say, is history. But it's a great job. Masticing is a fact. You're not on site 6 months. You're not on site for a year. You're not on the. I don't think I can handle one of them jobs where every day you go and you put your stuff in the locker and then you go to your workstation and it's we're in and out. We're like finishing. We are a finishing trade, aren't we? You know what I mean? So we go in, we eye up the job, we get it done, and hopefully smash it out and get out. You know. And it is a good job. It is a good job. It's
because of that, you go all over the place, all different walks of life.
I mean, our company's been to Dubai, believe it or not.
Mastic goes off a bit quicker.
It does go off. Yeah,
It's a bit sandy.
I'll tell you what isn't a good sight is Mick masticking with his shirt off. Seriously, I weren't there, but I have seen the photos, and it's not a pretty sight.
Isn't it funny how the boss pulls rank to get the one?
Yeah,
get the one
that
job.
one.
Yeah, no one get. There's no hands up for the job in Stretton.
Exactly. So no, we was so we have done Paris. We've done Paris as well, and we have done Streatham.
But Del Boy's van.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but no, it is have Mastic gun will travel. The boys go everywhere, and we had a job in Liverpool once, and we were bullied in Liverpool. It was like, what are you doing up here, nicking other people's jobs, nicking Liverpudlians' jobs?
Really,
Yeah, we was in a bar just outside Anfield. There was me and Swim, a guy I was working with, and they were actually offended that we travelled up to Liverpool to do work.
It does seem that way. That we've had that. I remember with Elgin, we got shot with a paintball in Blackwood in Wales.
Really?
And on the first thing, someone come out of, I think it was Wetherspoons of all places. That night, and there was a cotton onto their voice. They come past with a gun. They literally come out. I just saw his gun out the window.
Really?
Just
Wow.
Myself. And it just paintball straight across the wall and I drive by.
But they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they
Coming
don't
to
understand
going down
it.
the valleys and just still their work.
Yeah.
Sort of
We
thing.
did a job in the Isle of Dogs.
Yeah.
Right outside. It was a DLR station.
I mastic that for you.
You did.
I mastic that
That's
for you.
right.
I did.
did.
Something George's Cup. Something
That's
George.
right.
I remember
That's
it.
right.
I did it.
Yeah,
One
King
Saturday.
George the
King
Fifth.
George, yeah.
And we were getting shot at with ball bearings out of like what's them? What they call
Catapult.
Catapult.
Serious?
Ball bearings out
Listen,
of the
he
flats.
didn't warn me that when I went to do the job. He didn't say, oh, by the way, where you are.
In and out in no time.
Where you are, there's some nutters around with a catapult. Didn't tell me that. You owe me. I want a bit of danger.
Add that to the list.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, you don't owe me nothing. But no. So that was it. So it's like I say, it's a great job.
Yeah.
And you meet different people. You know what I mean? You meet people all the time, different people.
Yeah.
And it is a, some people can't handle being on site. Some people can't handle site management. But if you get your head down and get on with people,
Or the banter as well.
but that's what I'm missing in my situation. Is but the camaraderie that goes along with the construction work. To be fair,
Yeah, definitely.
I'm at work and I'll be working on my own, and I'll hear a group of sparks, or I'll hear a group. And I love listening to their banter, because I'm thinking they're enjoying their work. They're having a crack. Not picking
If
on
they're
someone,
sparks, they're just counting their 50s, aren't they?
but I enjoy listening to other people having a crack. Like
I didn't really realise it until we went back into the van. Massively, the groundworks off him. As was having the banner in the van on the way to work as well. The three of you, and you always got that one who struggles getting the van in the morning.
Yes.
Every night. So, and just if you look back for us, it was like, I remember we've done a job in Farnborough when I was unwell about 10 years ago. Or for all that, but we look back and the laughs that we had.
Yeah.
We once had this guy come on board with us. I tell the story, it's quite funny, but we called him Rambo. He's about 6'4", big lump. He was only with us for a week, and we broke him, I think. And but he come in all camo gear, and he used to do
Stolen valor.
he used to do
stolen trade.
military weekends, go to do them pretending to fight each other. What they call them, the military recreation.
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
that, and he was into that, and we was just like, this is fascinating. So we got listening to him, and then he got in the van one day, and we were all sitting in there because 3 in the back, 3 in the middle, big Mercedes Sprinter, it was packed out. And I thought, what the fuck's in your pocket? And he got a set of knuckle dusters. And I was like, what was them? Some like, World War II knuckle dusters issued ones. And I was like, what's that? He went, well, you just never know, Steve. I was like, you kind of do. We're sitting in the van on the M25. There's not much threat going around.
Really?
Yeah, and he wouldn't have it. And then by the end of that week, it was just strange. And then he wouldn't move out of his position in the van. And,
Oh no, one of them.
yeah, and when we used to do driver's rights, so whoever drove the van had the right to sit wherever they wanted the whole van. For the way home, and I stuck to it, knowing that this geezer had knuckle dusters in his pocket, and I made him sit in the middle, and he would have knees up to his ankle, his chin.
Yeah,
and,
but so you've gone spoiled on the 2-seater van on the seats at the front. Listen, our Mastic Man van stories are a lot worse than that. We used to have transit vans. I hope the DVLA and the police ain't watching. We used to have 2 in the front and 2 in the back. Yeah. Obviously, they shouldn't have been in the back. I know it's highly illegal.
They were allegedly.
But we had 2 alleged, but them 2 allegedly in the back. Not only was they there, they was there with probably 6 or 8 boxes of Mastic, and go around a bend, and it would just be, oh no, here we go, and it's boom, boom, boom. So we had this big job. We basically did Wembley, the whole of the Wembley complex that is now.
Amazing.
We did the windows there. We did the majority of Mastic, the majority of the windows there, the flats and all that malarkey. We was on 5 or 6 projects over there. But we used to have to get in the van. We used to meet at like 4:05. We load up the van with, between us, we'd do 2 boxes of gear each. So we'd probably have 8 or 10 boxes of gear. 8 or 10 boxes of gear. 4 of us in the van, 2 in the back that shouldn't have been in the back, obviously. We used to get to site. We used to route every day with the security guard because we used to walk through the canteen. Oh, you can't do that. You've got to wait till the gates open at 8. No, mate. We've got to get loaded out. We're on a price. Got to get loaded out. Yeah. So we had rows with the security guard to get through the canteen. Didn't want us to do it, but we used to black it in the end. Like someone would talk and we'd go. So that we'd do that, and then we'd all pile back in the van and go and park and have an hour or so's kip. And it was honestly, on my life, the best kip in the world. Even if you was in the back, you'd just be like, because it was cold. It was cold. Wembley's cold. When it's winter, Wembley's cold. It's the windy area. It's very windy there. Yeah. And we used to get in the back of the van. It was heaven. It was just heaven. But the banter that you had, just that banter, in the van, like you say.
So going back on the Mastic thing. So was that with Mastic? No, if you get your 2 boxes done, that's like your.
That was that quota. Yeah. That was that quota. As soon as you'd done them out, you could kind of go home. It was a team sport, so you had to, you know what I mean. And some were quicker than the lads used to slaughter me for being slow at times. You know what I mean? So it was a
attention to detail.
Perfectionist. Yeah.
Just what I was going to say.
But then it doesn't really matter when it's 13 floors up and no one's ever going to see it
in Wembley.
In Wembley. You know what I mean? And we did. In fact, that job nearly broke us because we got knocked a bit on that job as well as it goes. But the banter, the Mastic, 2 boxes on outside was enough for us.
Was it?
So, it's cold, mate. It's cold. It was hard work.
Fair play.
So I'd enough carrying 2 boxes of Mastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, we're not.
How many tubes in a box?
25. So it's 50 tubes.
Oh wow.
So it's 50 tubes of gear.
That is heavy then, isn't it?
You know what I mean? So
not as heavy as a box of tiles.
No, there isn't. But you have strong labourers to do that for you, don't you, Tristan? You have strong.
Allegedly,
you have strong labourers. That's the only thing they get paid to do is do that. They're not expected to lay tiles after that. They can go lay down in a dark room.
It's like a hod tile.
So that was it. That's the duller side of Mastic, and then the glory side of Mastic is.
But it's the dull side. It's saying the van, the camaraderie gets you through that dullness, doesn't it?
We've talked about it because the last few years we've moved more to internal Mastic. Our firm's moved to more internal stuff, which is like, let's say high end, but it is what it is. We do some really high end stuff, do some really quality stuff, but generally indoors is better because that 50 tubes becomes 5. Yep. Do you know what I mean? So it's 5 tubes of neat work, blah, 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 blah. And it's just different. But we talk about...
lighter box.
Yeah, lighter box. But we talk about it now and we're going like, we're on site. We do a lot of floor work and we'll be going, can you remember the days we used to go to Wembley? And we're like, I couldn't do it now. And you look back and I don't know how we did it. It was so cold. It was so it was so horrible. But we got through it purely through the camaraderie. Yeah. And then it'd be like one would go down and get a cup of tea or whatever. But you have to keep working because you're on the price, don't you? You've got to keep smashing it out. Yeah. But it was unless you're working with a group of lads that you get on with, You can't do it. You couldn't work like that with a group of
I think
arseholes.
you sift through people quite quickly.
Yeah. We had a few.
Oh, they get found out.
We had a few.
They get found out.
We had
yeah.
Vlad the Impaler. He was a bit dangerous over there.
You can know what his name is.
We had
really ominous.
No, we had Vlad the Impaler. Honestly, still
won't get along with Wally Hat.
No, still text now. Nick, any work have you got for me? Like that. He's so blunt, so to the point. Guy was a weird guy. But he was scary. He was scary as you like. The man thought every he was Vlad the Impaler. He was a legend. He did a few days for us, but then we had to sort of try
work him out,
try and edge him out before he killed us.
Yeah,
he found out where you lived.
Yeah, honestly, he was strange. He was used to talk about going to the cash point and people trying to kill him when he's at the cash point.
Yeah, they did have a set of knuckle dusters.
Yeah, he was a strange sort.
And this guy,
and then you get the ones
that was Russian military.
I know, I had a few of them as well. Yuri, you're talking to me about Yuri. He's another one. But Yuri was a legend. Yuri was a legend in the window fixing trade, as it goes.
Was he? Yeah.
There wasn't a thing Yuri didn't know about fixing windows, honestly, and other things from his days in Ukraine. But we can't talk about them. We can't talk about it because the solicitor's not looking at the moment. But no, we like I say, and you do sift out the ones that say, "Yeah, I've been in the game for 20 years, mate. I know this, I know that." And they get their gun out, and it's oh man alive, go and sit in the van, mate. Seconds, you're dangerous, so we can't let you loose on that job. You know what I mean? You've got to go. But people have said that about me at times as well. So I'm not blowing out hair up my arse.
But you hung in there, mate.
Yeah, I hung it out.
That's right.
Listen, fake it till you make it, or whatever they say. You know what I mean?
Drifted under the radar.
Drifted under the radar. But no, it's part of the camaraderie, and it goes with, I think, the sport, and that's why what you're doing is, I think, such a great idea because it does link.
Teamwork.
Don't care what anyone says. Sport links, camaraderie at work links. You know what I mean? All right, you do get your lone wolves that you're never going to attack. You're never going to get on board. But you know what I mean? There's more of us than there are lone wolves, I'm sure.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is what you need.
Definitely.
And I see some of the things you're doing are brilliant. Absolutely amazing.
It's good fun. Just winging it. So we going along, see what
Exactly.
it takes us. But so going on to while we're here then, so we had a football match last week. We had, what was the team's official names? Thurston Soccer Legends, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
And
Soccer schools.
Froggy's
11, wasn't it?
Froggy's 11.
Select 11.
So they were your select 11 versus a lot of us.
I didn't select them, but yeah, they were selected by Matt Jones. But yeah.
Superb. And we'd have to talk about the scorer, who scored. I get a bit. I guess I was blushing. I'll start blushing.
But was it as good as Reese's penalty?
Oh my God!
It was a cracking. If you noticed it, I'm not sure I caught a video. I tried to spring up after mine, celebrate. Didn't make it up. I was down. My lungs had gone.
Oh really?
Yeah. After that, I emptied the tank literally in that 10th minute goal.
You're just lucky that the bloke you was like running against was infinitely slower than you were.
All I know is the keeper was off his line. I knew if I just tap the ball, it's in. It's going in. He's completely in wilderness.
Are you milking it, man? That's what I like to see. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
100%. 30 yards I ran in.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But that's cool. Reese's penalty was good.
It was good.
Not Billy's halfway line with the
Yeah,
David
that was
Beckham on the
amazing.
day.
I didn't see him strike it. I just saw
I
the
missed the
loft.
strike.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
missed
I've
the
seen
strike.
strike, yeah.
I just see.
I don't think no one expected it because it was from penalty. It was from a kickoff.
Yeah.
They just scored. It went 4-3.
Yeah,
I think.
I
wasn't
just
it?
saw
Or
it
4-2.
lofted in.
4-2, yeah. It was
He just hit
4-3
it
off
off the kickoff.
Yeah,
so
5-5.
Bosh.
But it was, look, I mean, yeah, halfway line is a thing of beauty. If you're going to miss from a penalty spot, you know, you need to hang your boots up. So I know Reece is milking it. I know Reece is milking it, you know, and he is milking it. You know,
he still hasn't had the drone.
There's been more angles. So he's actually put wanted posters up to see if there's any moles that had GoPros on.
He was telling me the week before he missed the penalty, so the pressure.
It was internal pressure. Though,
I like it. If you watch it just after he looks around, he goes, does a little like that, does a little fist pump, a little person. Yeah, get that for me. That's for me. That one. You know what I mean? That went straight to his heart. That one. Straight to his heart.
So Nick, we were there because you could tell it basically. Yeah. So your situation at the moment, we could go and delve into the deepness of this.
Situation at the moment is I've got stage 4 cancer.
Yep.
Diagnosed quite recently, actually. sadly diagnosed on my grandson's first birthday, 24th of July, which was a bit harsh. Diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, rectal cancer, bowel cancer, whichever one you want to call it. It's spread to my liver. I think there's a spot on my lung, lymph nodes or whatever. It's basically it's doing the rounds, unfortunately. Don't want to make light of it because obviously it's a serious situation, but yeah, unfortunately I'm off work with stage 4 cancer.
Yeah,
and that's really, I don't really know how to elaborate on that other than it's pretty shit, but it's one of them. It is what it is, and just got to get through it. Well, basically been told it's terminal yet. Been told it's incurable.
Okay.
But that can mean 10 years, 5 years, 15 years. You know what I mean?
There's almost a little glimmer of hope in that, though, isn't there?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, there's plenty of hope in there.
Yeah.
And
so
with the support that I've got, the guys showing up for the game, and the love and support I've got from the likes of Tristan and yourselves and everyone, basically, it can only help.
Yeah.
But the situation is a bit grim, really.
Yeah. But this is it with the positive vibes, isn't it? The positivity.
That's why you got. At the end of the day, it would be nice if someone watching this video or this podcast goes, oh, bloody hell, didn't realise that geezer was that ill when he was talking at the start.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's no point in being that ill. If you know what I mean, I'm seriously ill, but there's no point in dwelling, I guess, or it'd be nice because that's how I want to come across as not unwell. Yeah. And I don't personally, other than the pain, I'm suffering a lot of pain.
In your somach area, would it be?
No, basically, yeah. To put it bluntly, there, that's where the cancer is. Literally a pain in the arse.
Yeah,
and the pain is horrendous. Sort of crawling around the house, bad pain. The nurses that treat me for pain, the Farley Hospice nurses are brilliant. Every nurse, everyone in the health business and in the NHS that's treated me has been amazing. Have been fantastic. But yeah, the pain is the one thing I could do with getting rid of. It's.
Was there pain there before the diagnosis?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. You know what it's like as a builder, you put these things off, don't you?
Yeah.
But let's be honest. First of all, it's never going to happen to you. That one.
No.
Then it's I start getting the pain, start getting upset, started changing my bowel habits without getting too crude. Started changing my bowel habits, going to the toilet more. And again, it'll fix itself. I cut out bread.
Dodgy calf breakfast or something like that.
Listen, I thought if I cut out bread, right, it's going to sort this thing right out. Right? It's going to sort this thing right out.
Gluten.
It must be. Listen, the thing is, all that IBS, I've always said is a made-up illness anyway. I don't believe it. I'm glutonic or whatever they call it.
Glutonic?
Listen, I've always
it's a cocktail.
They're a Mastic man, not Superman.
Honestly, we've got a guy at work. He comes up with every illness. It's like his name's Chalky. It's like Chalky. That doesn't exist. Yeah. Plantar Give it that rubbish. It's a sore foot. You know what I mean? Right. So I've always been one of them I've always been one of them that these things don't really exist. So there I was, cut out bread. Might even have been rice and chips.
Carbs.
Processed
on the Atkins. You've been on the Atkins.
The story gets better.
Processed food, right? So me and the missus are cutting these things out, and like I say, trying to make light of it. And we were for a while. It was like, yeah, that's fine. I only had 8 shits today, love. I'm doing well. You know what I mean? But I was going to the toilet far too many times. And then the pain kicked in. And obviously, being not the Mastic men are roughy tufty like scaffolders or ground workers, but being a roughy tufty builder, I was like, nah, it'll be fine, love. You know what I mean? It'll be fine.
I'm sorry, Nick. I don't actually think it's about being rough. I think it's just things blokes just put off. You know, they just go, a couple of anodines.
Oh yeah, ibuprofen as well.
Ibuprofen, or whatever.
That ended up ruining me as well.
We had to go and try, but we had a little bit of an approach of it with the market side of things. Talking about before, like blokes trying to help try and explain mental health support to people is how we need to educate blokes to support their mates because they won't look after themselves, but they'll do everything for the mate.
Yes, yes. Again, since I've been ill, I've got 3 guys to get their poo checked, basically, to get it checked.
Yep.
At the end of the day, because again, on my life, I didn't see blood in my poo once. Didn't see once blood in my shit. Not once. Not even when I did the bloody sample.
Yeah.
Right. Not even when I did the sample. You know, just whatever. You scoop up the thing. I was going, not I was showing the old woman. I was going, babe, on my life, there's nothing there. It's fine. Sent it off. 4 days later, it's come back positive. And positive for what? But it wasn't for cancer. It was for obviously the blood. Mm-hmm. And then they put you on the 2-week fast track thing.
Yep.
Everything has to be done within 2 weeks. And to be fair to them, they've stuck to it to the T. The service has been amazing. I was
that fast track doesn't mess about, does it?
No.
I've had a few things.
No, it's like I say, people can
the
slaughter
NHS cancer fast track system.
People can slaughter the NHS, and I'm sure, and they do. But the service that I've had, second to none. Everywhere I've been, they've known my record. They've known that, you know, I went, had a phone call. She sorted out the colonoscopy for me. At the same time, she did arrange an endoscopy for me. She then, in the meantime, arranged another test. What's the one I said for babies? The Buster Footman loved it. What's that one? Another one of them. Ultrasound. That's the one that done me, the ultrasound. So I went to an ultrasound at Braintree. End up going to Orsett for the colonoscopy. Broomfield for another CT scan. But everywhere, and people go, "Oh, you've sent you?" No, they've sent me there because that's where they could get me in.
Yep.
And they got me in. You know what I mean? And the service has been unreal. But it was the ultrasound that done me, because they found a shadow on my liver, or a mass on my liver. And I was a heavy drinker prior. I've given up drinking 3 years now, 3 years sober. And I said to the missus, I said, "Paula, babe, look, I'm sure I've damaged my liver while I was drinking." Because everyone, you imagine you damage your liver drinking, don't you? Yep. So that come around, did the endoscopy, colonoscopy, did that bare naked, didn't have any sedation for that. Any of you guys having I don't know what camera, make sure you get sedation, because that was pain. That was pain like you've never seen. Just like, do you want it? I went, no, I'll be all right. I'll be fine. I thought sedation was putting you to sleep. Should have took it. Man alive.
There was a bit of wood in between the teeth. There was the other option.
It was hell. Yeah. It was hell. Then he was offering me the gas and air malarkey. I was like, halfway through, mate. I'll crack on. No, never again. I'm having the sedation next time. That's for sure. So I did that. The endoscopy, but yeah, it was the ultrasound that done me. Went to see my surgeon, Dr. Com, and she said, like, "What do you know?" And it's like, well, the guy had said we've got cancer. The guy on my grandson's birthday said we've got cancer, but where it is, I think we can cut it out. He wasn't a surgeon. Maybe he shouldn't have said such a thing, but he did, and I lived off it for a couple of weeks. To be fair, I was like, that's happy days. It can be cut out. But went to see my specialist, and she said, no, unfortunately, it's metastasized. Basically, spread to your liver. It's become stage 4 cancer, and that's it. It's technically incurable, but how long is that piece of string? You know what I mean? How long is that piece of string? I started chemo 3 weeks ago. Just finishing my first round of chemo. So I'll wait and see. That needs to work. You know, whilst that's working, I'm buzzing. You know what I mean?
Can I just ask a question, Nick? So it went from a stomach illness or issue, irregular bowel movements, then to the doctors. Then to have your stool, like a poo test, a stool test.
Yeah. Basically, I went to the doctors because I was in pain, and that's part of the thing, because it was stomach. Part of the thing they will do your stool test, and then it went from there. So, I've cut out a bit. Then after that, I had I've had a stoma fitted. So
have you?
Yeah, I've had a stoma fitted, which was again, I was 5 days in hospital. So again, without making light of it, I'm saving fortunes on toilet paper. If anyone,
I've been there.
If anyone needs some.
I had a stoma for 2 years.
Well, funny you should say that, Steve, because your stoma nurse told me to say hello to you. Nikki.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did she really?
Yes, I didn't know whether you was going to bring it
really?
up. Yes, Nikki.
Nikki, I completely forgotten Nikki.
Yes, what a lovely lady.
She was. Golden woman. Yeah. Because the stoma come round to you, didn't they?
Yeah. Honestly, so I said
wow.
whilst I was in hospital.
Yeah, send my love.
Well, do it this way.
Yeah.
Hello, Nikki. Well,
tune in, subscribe.
Whilst I was in hospital, I spoke to Tristan, and he'd said about speaking to you, and then I spoke to her. Obviously, I said, "Oh yeah, like, we've got a mate who knows someone who's going to hopefully sort something out. This construction, Steve Kersday." She went, "Steve, I know Steve."
Yeah,
I know
Nikki,
Steve.
God, she was absolute angel.
She
There was
wa-
another lady as well, but Nikki was an angel.
Rosie.
Was there a Kerry? There was a Kerry.
There is a Kerry.
Yeah,
I've
there
not
was a
dealt with Kerry,
Kerry as
but
well.
I've been under
Yeah, it was
Nikki and
Kerry.
Rosie. Nikki and Rosie, but
God, I
Nikki's.
forgot about those people.
She and Steve, to be fair, she said you was a pain in the arse. No. She said no. She said what a lovely fella. She said what a lovely fella, and she said to send her love to you.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's brilliant. I didn't. I'm glad you brought it up.
Small world.
Yeah, it's a small world.
Yeah.
But again, listen, the quality of care they give you.
The mad world of it. So I had a surgeon called Dr. O'Fays in Harrow, St Mark's Hospital.
Right.
We got referred over to there because I had ulcerative colitis.
Okay,
so
yeah.
they done an emergency operation and removed my large intestine, but I kept my colon and I kept my small intestine. And then later on, they rebuilt my large intestine using my small intestine. It was a bit mad. I had 50 odd staples down the stomach twice, and then the bag attached to me. And then, anyway, but then the guy who created that operation was a guy called Dr. O'Fays. Dr. O'Fays or Dr. Fays? Can't remember. And I was walking, and I'd completely forgot about him, and I couldn't remember his name if you said it. And we were walking through Wandsworth 2 years ago on a walk, when we done a walk from all the football stadiums in London, 6 o'clock in the morning. He come round the corner of a building with a dog, little dog, and I didn't even see him eye to eye. My peripheral vision, as someone said, I just went, Dr. Fays, and it was as if I just knew. And it was the most, basically, cold thinking about it. Wow. And I was like, Dr. Fays, and he looked at me and went, I said, you operate? Oh my God, how are you? I said my name. He's like, yeah, he remember. It says he remember me, but it was unbelievable. I was like, Christ. I said, I thanked him massively. I was like, I've never been. He was really good to me because there was a few complications on the way, and he sat me down man to man. Like I said, the NHS situation, I was emergency, and there was things within the operation that went a bit wrong. Maybe at hindsight, we felt the blame game was going like this wasn't me. Why they put me in this position? But then he sat me down man to man and explained it. He didn't do it over the phone, but he just gave me a direct number, sat me down, and he kind of said, he said that the operation would have gone this way, you wouldn't be here. If we did the operation, it was now you're here. And then the lawyer and the solicitor kind of said that's the way they look at it as well. I was like, so you should be thankful you're here, sort of thing. I went, okay, I'll go back in my box.
That's right. Yeah. Reverse.
But like I say,
I told you not to.
I was there this week. I was visiting another guy who I met when I had my first operation, a fella called Dell, and I went to visit him this week because he's just had a stoma. So I went and give him the little man-to-man talk about it. It's a piece of cake, Steve, isn't it? It is what it is.
I kind of feel left out, really.
Mate, you need.
You
need one.
I don't know. I kind of, I really, I might have been because I was 21 years old.
Yes,
still wanted to still want to play rugby. Still going.
I can imagine it being much different. Yes, I can imagine it being much different.
Because there was a lot of people saying to me, literally, like, you can have the operation. I got a question, do you want to reverse it or not? They said, it's up to you. And I was like, let's go. There's 50-50 chance it might not work. And I took it, just thinking, I don't know if it goes worse. I didn't expect the beer anyway with this situation. And fortunately, it went really well.
Well, in my I mean, I needed it to get through the chemo, basically, because I was needing to go to the toilet too many times.
Yeah, controlled.
And the pain I was in while I was going to the toilet was beyond pain. We're talking 12 out of 10. It was ridiculous pain. Pain that morphine couldn't get rid of. It was ridiculous. So I needed it. You know what I mean? And it kind of, it sounds corny, but it kind of has saved my life to this point, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, I would be struggling. I wouldn't be doing chemo.
Oh, that pain would just push you down.
You
won't go out because you're in pain.
Yeah,
you
no,
won't
exactly.
see anyone because you're in pain.
But like I say, Nikki and her team, there's only 4 of them. They work really hard. They are, but everything she says, I mean, and she was the lady that made me break down in hospital, actually. She was the one because I was a bit concerned, you said about the 2-week thing.
Yeah.
I was a bit concerned about coming out of the system, right? I'd had the stoma, and I was a bit concerned. I knew Farley were doing me pain relief, which worried me. Being under Farley, you associate them with end of life care. You associate them with that, and I was thinking, no, you know what's going to happen? Now, give me the bag, make me comfortable. Now they're going to send me home and push me over to Farley and say, sorry, Nick. This
Done
situation.
we've done what we can.
Done what we can to make you comfortable. Go on. And I spoke to Nikki about it, and seriously, within 10 minutes, she come back. She went, because I said about falling out of the system. She come back. She went, no, you've got a oncology appointment on the 12th of next month. Man alive, broke down in tears. I cuddled her, hugged her. She
These
hugged me.
people are angels, isn't they? It's just 10 years later, that must be, since I saw her.
Yeah, and she still remembers you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lasting impression.
Yeah. you must have shat all over her. You must have shat all over her.
Steve, that mess.
Yeah, that's right. It's still up at a wall now. You know what I mean? But no,
they made a Banksy out of it there.
We're willing to auction it off a charity.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so she was brilliant. The care you get, honestly, second to none.
Yeah.
So that's so that's.
But
me
you're
now.
doing well with the stoma. All good. Control. Pain relief.
Pain relief. The pain relief's good. I need to get on top of the pain relief. I said to Tristan, they've given me something to help me sleep now, which is helping. They don't like doing that.
It's an audio tape of me.
Yeah. No, they don't like to do that for sort of long-term patients because you become used to it.
Yeah.
But I'll take it for now. It's helping me sleep.
Yeah.
Being out of sleep is a win. You know, and be out of sleep without on my life, mate. I reckon 5 weeks. If I was sleeping 3 hours at a time, maximum 3 hours at a time, and waking up in pain beyond belief, and then your head goes because you've
Sleep
got
deprivation.
cancer. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
you can't put enough weight on good night's sleep, can you?
But
Or
that's
unbroken
what
sleep.
That's what I was suffering with, and then because I've got the cancer, your head goes elsewhere as well. It's
a downward spiral, isn't it?
And I was suffering massively, and you know, now the pain, I'm trying to get on top of it, but it's still not there. The pain relief's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Because these people, they don't know me, do they? So it's 10 mil here, 10 mil there, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. And as soon as I'll be pain free, like I say, the chemo, again, I don't want to make light of it because people do say it's horrible and it's hard, and this, I don't want to make it. To me, it's easy. Okay, I'm coping with it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I'm going to stereotype you, but do you sit in a room with other people having chemo as well?
Yes, I only I'm doing mine orally.
Okay.
So I do that for 1 day.
Okay.
So every 3 weeks, my treatment's on a Wednesday. So Wednesday, I finish my treatment this week, my tablets, week off. Then I go for a blood test next Monday, and then into Broomfield on the Wednesday. And you're there for probably 4 hours, like you say, sitting in a room with other people. But you're all there for the same reason, so you know what I mean. It's plenty to talk about. You know what I mean. It's not like you know
that's
what I mean?
a community, camaraderie comes around.
Yeah, it's coming in together.
Well, I got something to take a photo. I put it on Instagram. I know it's the in thing and Instagram, all that malarkey. But seriously, it took me 3 nurses to get this photo right because they were useless. They're good at treating you.
Yeah, but it's good angle.
It's difficult to find your good side, mate. It's difficult to find your good
I
side.
was like, come on, I was in a pink chair. I needed help. You know what I mean?
It's the lighting.
And,
lighting.
but anyway, no.
Cancer research. He's investing in the lighting.
Seriously, no. I worked at Francis Crick Centre's Cancer Research Centre. Now that's a place. That's a place.
Really?
Wow, that's a place. But in the end, this nurse Kerry got to give her. I did say to her that when my picture went viral, I would give her a mention. I know we're not quite viral yet, Steve, but we're getting there.
And there will be now.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So she knows. She took the good picture.
We've got Thurston on here.
We got Thurston, but you got to find the picture. You got to get it on Instagram. Yeah, you know what I mean. And but yeah, so she took the picture after 2 nurses failed miserably.
Yeah.
Like I say, very brilliant at caring for you. Not that good at photography, but you know, apart from that.
Can't have it all.
But like I say, you've just got to smash through it. And the reason I guess we're here as well is that everyone come together for that game last week.
Oh, it was incredible, wasn't it?
You know,
so we could, because that was, as you say, the generations before. Because there was a few of us, my generation, I suppose, as well. But there was a lot. If I forgot in my head, selfishly, I remember the 3 years above me and a couple years below me.
Yeah,
it was so much more than that as well.
Yeah.
But everyone who comes. Well, you run me.
Well, I think it was the most bizarre afternoon I'd had. Not only because I was in the country, you know,
he's in a dugout.
That's right. But Nick's phoned me, obviously to sort of break the news, you know, which kind of pisses on everybody's campfire that you might be having that day, and straight away, it was little did I know that Reese already knew, but it was almost as if we'd kind of both gone off in different directions. Reese had gone straight down the football thing because obviously, the connection. I went down the sort of more sort of like, I don't know, cultured sport. Not that I've ever played golf in my life, but I thought, well, Steve, we must be able to do something as a community to just try and do something. Then all of a sudden, Reese and I have just crossed paths, and the whole thing has literally just blown up in our faces. Yep. Reese Bailey's the absolute legend. Oh, he smashed it, he did all of the heavy lifting, with regard to absolutely everything, with regard to everybody that was in the background. I was in the background doing whatever I could. And it was almost like a perfect day.
Well, he come round my house.
That song, The Perfect Day.
The most nostalgic
it was like
day.
That.
Yeah. He come round my house Sunday evening. He said, "Look, we're going to do something." I spoke to Tris. You was away or going away the next day.
I was away, mate. Sorry.
And he said, "I spoke to Tris. We're going to put a game on." I'm like, "Oh, look, it's a lot." But next thing, wow. Next thing, wow. It's like, as you say, what?
I was waiting for that.
What's that group's
again?
going
For that as well. With the kit.
yeah. But what's that group's going? You sorting out the kit. The lads turning up. Southwood and Ferris United fencing off the pitch for us.
Yeah, it looked awesome, didn't it?
Yeah,
it looked so good.
They had brand new goals out for us.
Well,
that was.
I think what we kind of said, wasn't it? It was, unfortunately in this day and age, you kind of think that there ain't a community spirit, Yeah. But it's only when sort of like a real local celeb who's got a car park named after him, sort of like, when it goes south for them, and you kind of go, okay, well, this community spirit is still here because we didn't really scratch too far below the surface for this complete outpouring of memories and
I think that's what it
goodwill
was.
for Nick and his
the good goodwill is, like I said, it's just humbling. It's humbling for me, and it's lovely that, as I said when I did that little sort of speech at the end, it's lovely to see the town come together, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I spoke to your sister about this, and
definitely,
and it's amazing. It's shocking, you know what I mean? Because we all go to work. Like I say, my daily routine was get up at 4:30 in the morning, leave the house at 5, finish work 2:30, 3 o'clock, be home by 5:30. That was it. That was my day. Then very little in Woodham. Do you know what I mean? Most of my work was in London or wherever. Yeah. And then prior to that, when I was in the town, so the beauty of it is so many of these memories, like you say, are 15 and 20-year-old memories, which is, and you guys have enjoyed the nostalgia of it.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Amazing.
You know what I mean.
Such a good crack.
It's been, and I loved sharing that. I mean, I've it's a, I don't know how to explain it. Being ill's shit. It is shit, but to see the what's happened with you guys is just brilliant to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think you just got to, and it's a very different situation. I've never been obviously in your position, but just look at the positives, and it's so easy to say it. Background, it's just keeping them alive again. Keep pushing on, and what next? What can we do to keep the morale? Is huge. Isn't it?
But again, it's just the spirit. And I said it in that thing, and when I stood there, I used to do, obviously, when I did the soccer schools, used to obviously, end of the school, used to thank everyone for coming. And I think I said at the time, they were easier to do than the one I did then. But to look around and see all them different faces was amazing, was a joy. It was
almost as if the wave had come back again. That wave of great
those
fun
eyes 20 years ago. Look at you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and it was like the wave was here again.
Was amazing.
Haggard. And
that's right. Listen, we're all a bit haggard.
Listen, you've been ill.
I've never been told. I've never been told I look so good so many times.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've lost a bit of weight. It does that to you. You know what I mean?
Some diet.
Yeah, it's a quality diet, really. But you know what I mean. But so no, the outpouring of that was and the generosity. I mean, Tristan's firms donated that Brazil shirt, which was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that went off the scale.
That was led by you. I think Sammy had bought that in an auction, a drunken auction, and basically Tristan's more than doubled it, selling it for me.
Yeah.
And the guys bidding, it was in good spirit. It was wonderful to see, like Steve McCullough and Jamie Valentine. They was one wasn't.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right,
one wasn't going to let the other
There
one
was
have
no
it.
backing down
There was
with
no
that one,
backing,
mate.
and there wasn't no backing down with you bantering them as well. But the raffle tickets and the people that donated prizes as well.
Yeah.
You know, the raffle. You know, we sold the tickets.
Club
Club
Woodham was banged out.
Woodham was banged out. Yeah. I mean, Club Woodham. I mean, Adam and Ross put on food for everyone, which was lovely. Obviously, you know, they had a great afternoon behind the bar, but they more than did us proud by what they did. The list is almost too big to thank, but like, you know, obviously the likes of WRS were fantastic. Nicola, who works for Tristan, was, you know, she was taking the photos. She was wonderful. She helped my Madison selling raffle tickets. Maddie, my daughter, had friends helping her sell raffle tickets. Chris Firminger at South Woodham Ferries, South Woodham United, doing them. I mean, that pitch looked.
Yeah, it looked quality, didn't it?
Great.
He'd
had a pitch.
Yeah, but he'd had that cut. He'd had it lined out properly. All off his. And I know Chris is going through some personal problems himself at the moment, so I wish him all the best. Okay, but he went above and beyond. You know what I mean? And obviously, you just can't do this without saying anything about Reece Bayliss.
No.
The man. I mean, Reece's story was he'd come to work for me as a. Did his work experience for me. Yeah. And then I took him on for a job after, worked for me for years and years and years. Then took the shop on RB Sports, named RB Sports after me.
Didn't get the car park though.
Didn't get the car park. He hasn't got the car park. I've kept the naming rights for the car park. but the work, I mean, his missus must be so glad it's over because the work he put in. I mean, he's still dropping me texts now. I'll pick up my phone now. He's probably dropped me one. The work he put in is, you can't thank him enough, Steve. Yeah. How can you thank him enough? You know what I mean? It's other than thank you. Yeah. You know, and as Reece said, he would like to think that if he was in that situation, someone would help him out, and that's exactly what Tristan said. And I'm in the fortunate position that I can see that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm in the fortunate position that I can see everyone has come out and supported me, and I'm so grateful. It's beyond great. You know, it's hard to say.
So what was your thinking then? Because on the construction side of things, we've mentioned it a few things. You've said it as well. Right. About what can construction do, or what can construction workers do? To
if I personally, I mean, because we're all in construction, whether we're PAYE or whether we're self-employed. You know, a lot of the trouble is with the construction side, especially when you're, I'd say more so if you're self-employed, you know, and you're on a price work rather than a day work, you know, you just, there are things that you just don't do, you know, and that it's through because of pressures of just thinking we're immortal, just thinking that I'm young, I'm only 30, this is never going to happen to me. Why do I need insurances? Why do I need, you know, sort of critical illnesses, insurances? You know, and at that age, you can get them relatively cheap anyway, you know, because once you fix a term for a critical illness, it's not as if it goes up as you get older. The package is the package, you know. So, and I think what it kind of highlighted with Nick's situation was that, you know, we are all got our asses up in the air, forgetting all this, not forgetting that it's important, because a family is paramount to everybody, you know. But also, if it goes tits up or it goes a bit sideways or wobbly for you, what's left in the wake, you know, of not having the financial support of, like, an insurance. It's great that everybody's come out for Nick, you know, and that sort of showing the support. But I think there's something just a little bit behind the scenes that, you know, most self-employed people, have absolutely been there, are only 3 or 4 pay packets away from sort of like being broke. Yeah. You know, because everybody lives to their means, you know, because they've always got a tax bill to think about, because there's always this to think about. There's always that, I don't get paid when I'm on holiday. You know, all those things that have to get taken into account. So sort of a critical illness or some form of insurance just gets shoved to the back until
something like this happens.
something like this happens.
But it is fixable.
It is fixable.
And I think it's something that I've thought about this a lot recently.
It's your Dragon Den moment.
Obviously.
Now,
well, no, Dragon Den moment.
Yeah,
and this
100%.
is something that if it's got legs, you guys could get behind it. And if it's got legs, it would probably need bigger than you guys to get behind it. But the way I look at it is, people that work in offices are used to money coming out of their pay packet. They PAYE, right? So they get paid, let's go round figures, get paid £1,000. Out of that, their tax goes out of it. They don't see that. Out of that, their parking might go out of it. They don't see that. Out of that, their national insurance will go out of it. They don't see that. They might pay, they're obviously paying into a pension. They don't see that. Right? That's gone. So they get paid £1,000, but they take home, let's just say, round figure, £600.
Yep.
Okay? Us in the construction industry, we get paid that £1,000 and it's our £1,000.
You can see it.
All right, and it's there,
Taste
and
it.
it's there. Okay, so
real.
we don't like giving that money away, right? Because that's our money, right? So we're not, other than when you do your end of year tax return, this, that, and the other. That's our money. You get £1,000, you lose your 20% tax, you got £800. That's it. That's yours. That's £800. Let's keep it around figures. Well, if someone was to say to you, pay this week, you wouldn't do it. And so part of you is like, I'm not going to pay that insurance. Well, I'll go down the pub with that 20 quid. I'll go down the pub with that 20 quid. Yeah. That's really the kind of money you're only talking about for young lads.
Yeah.
But why not? Why could we not build it into when we do our when we do our end of year tax return? Okay.
Yeah.
So we pay our national insurance, which whatever. Obviously, I'm reaping the benefits with the NHS side of it. Yeah. Yeah. But would there be a massive kickback from the building industry if you did packages? If you did packages, like you work on your own, but I'll tell you what, if you was to pay just 300 quid at the end of your tax year,
yeah,
it's not your money. You've not seen the money. It's gone. But that's you covered for critical illness. Yeah. You could do another package for someone who's got a girlfriend, needs a bit of support. He might need 500 grand insurance or something, right? Then you got another package for the man who's married with 2 kids and a dog, blah, 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 big, massive house. If it goes wrong for him, he's in trouble, right? But we don't like parting with the money. Yeah. We've
worked hard for that money.
We've worked hard for that money, and we don't like giving it away. But when I do my end of year tax return and I do my national insurance, I don't miss it because it's not been mine. Yeah. It's gone. It's gone. Well, I've paid X amount of tax this year. I've paid £2 grand, £3 grand.
It's a problem, and you'll see it as well as a business owner as well, isn't it? You see it with the lads on the phone the day after they've been paid. Yeah,
but they're skint. But if you was to do it once a year, annually, and these guys don't even notice it. So if you was to say, I don't know, get someone like Aviva or LV involved, and you said, like, could we not set up a scheme where let's start with the construction industry. Let's start with us small, because you know the figures that are in the construction industry. Yeah. Let's pick an industry like ours and say, right, could we not, in line with Aviva, Direct Line, anyone, a scheme where we give people built-in life insurance.
CIS scheme is something tied into that, isn't it? Where it has to, everyone
yeah,
has to go for CIS.
I mean, you know, even if it was a governmental run scheme.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Much? Yeah. How much? I mean,
it'd be nothing.
How many people in the construction industry, Steve?
In the millions, was there?
Probably
4 or
5 million.
Yeah, 44 million. Yeah.
4 or 5. If it said 5 million, you know, for 300 quid a year to have a critical illness kind of cover. Yeah. How much interest would the government earn on that for them to be able to give people the support rather than you kind of have to go cap in hand to try and get the support out the system.
Because me personally,
You've already paid into it. So the support network is
because it's never going to happen to you, right?
No, that is never.
Now, I was a hard worker. I was a grafter. I used to do back shifts, night shifts, Saturdays, Sundays. If I could get them, I'd do them. Greedy, yes. Wanted the money, yes. Earned good money, yes. Never thought of putting that.
Ever going to get ill? No.
Never going to get cancer. Never going to get ill. Let alone get bloody cancer.
Yes, right.
Right. So, but still, you give me a week when I've earned 1,500 quid. I still really want to give you 50 quid for insurance. I wouldn't want to give it to you out of my pocket.
Yeah.
You could take it without me knowing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because it's almost. I took out private health insurance after my stomach went wrong.
Yep.
Just because I knew if I have any problems now, I want to get seen to as quick as I can.
Yep.
So I took, and that was about 65 quid. It might be about 80 quid now a month. But before I had anything wrong with me, I was like, that's fortunes. I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
But when I come back, I went, that's not too much more than my phone bill, actually.
No,
Why would I have
when
that?
you break it down like that. When you break it down like that. But how many? You're one of the few.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I
probably had to go to a dark place to realise I now
well,
want
no,
to have
exactly.
that, innit? Yeah.
I spoke to a Mastic firm this week, GR Construction. They've done a thing for me. I spoke to the fellow Greg there. I said, how many guys? He said, well, it depends with subbing out. Like some days you can have 4 lads on the gun, some days 15 lads on the gun.
Yeah.
I said, how many of them have got? And he said, probably 1 or 2. And they're the ones that wives have done it, well, have done their mortgages.
Yeah.
Now, again, you've got 13, possibly 10, 13 lads there that have got no cover, like me, no cover. I've got a mortgage. I've got no, so therefore that still needs to be paid. I've got no life insurance, so I've stitched my wife up and my kids up. I've got nothing, and I grafted, and people like me have. There'll be people watching this going, "What an idiot!"
Oh yeah, it's we hear it all the time. We've had multiple stories and
what's an idiot
stories in the past.
I'm willing to be the poster boy on how not to do it. Do you know what I mean? I'm willing to say, look, don't do like I did.
Yeah.
I've screwed it up. I've screwed it up.
But the thing is, Nick, and this is half the trouble. It's not even as if you're doing it intentionally. Most people will take out insurances unless, like you said, it's linked in with something else.
Yeah.
After they've got ill, so you kind of go, "Phew, better
That's
cover.
a close
I better
shave,
cover
must
for
get
that. I better cover for that, just in case that might never happen." Well, I don't know, but last time I looked at the bloke in the mirror, I didn't ever think I was immortal. We all think we're immortal when you're younger and you're on the tools and you're banging away at it, earning 1,500, $2,000 a week. No one ever thinks that, God, what happens if I get knocked over by a car? Yeah. Doesn't have to be a cancer. It could be knocked over by a car, lost a leg. What would that do? Or lost a hand. What would that do for your earning capacity, irrespective of whether you've got a house, kids, dog, all this sort of stuff? Just your earning capacity.
Yeah.
But it's gone.
It's totally gone.
But and when you put it like that, ain't we selfish? I mean, ain't we selfish for our other halves?
That is literally, someone said it's the most unselfish thing to do is to get covered, isn't it? Out there, I think something market is recently.
Really?
So that's the most unselfish, because it is, I suppose, in a way. But you say you don't realise it will never happen to you, does it?
No.
And that's what.
But I've spoken to loads of people recently, and how I've done. Maybe it's not come across with what I said. If we could maybe get something in place where you're losing only a small amount of money, but you're getting covered.
There's a guy, Alex Gotts, good friend of mine, and I spoke to him 6 weeks ago about something, and the day after something popped up, and I literally run me up today about a few things he's got going on. He was talking about, because he works in the payroll world of supporting companies, and how they support the individuals, self-employed or employed. And he's actually come up with a few things. He's just confirming a few bits. But I thought I said to him, it's uncanny. I said, I'm not nicking out every idea you have, Al, but I've got something tonight you might be interested in speaking to. Yes, I'll get him on the phone. And catch up with him.
Because I think, let's be fair, it's important for God's sake.
Well, it's happening all day, every day.
Yeah.
We see it now. The construction is not just mental health problems. It's problems. We probably deal with more things outside of suicide in terms of mental health in construction. And we see it all the time with brain tumours, fucking heart attacks, people dropping dead at work. There's a guy dropped dead in London the other week, had a heart attack, 42 years old. And some scaffolders we know had to literally deal with him at the same time. But that just gets washed away. No one actually looks at Jesus.
The backstory.
The backstory.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
We've all got backstory.
Yeah. Who is he? What's his past? What we're doing? It just kind of gets palmed off.
Exactly.
And that person's story doesn't get told.
Well, it's just, jeez, did you hear about that bloke that died on site a couple of weeks ago?
You'll see it. You probably won't see
God,
most. And we've noticed it now, but more in the suicide thing. Suicides with the health and safety executive don't get investigated. So if someone takes their own life in work or outside of work, the health and safety executive doesn't look into it. Well, so if someone died on a building site, they would be investigated to look at what's gone wrong. If someone took their own life on a building site and it's happened, a guy took his own life, end of last year, just up the road in Rayleigh from us. He's done that, and this thing doesn't get investigated. So on site, the HSC wouldn't be even. So people will get RIDDORs. You see RIDDORs are here. That doesn't class as a RIDDOR.
Really?
So companies won't get not fined, actually fined,
Won't
but they
get
won't be held
inspect-
responsible
won't get
for it.
inspected,
They
investigated.
won't get inspected, nothing. So it gets put down as a personal issue. But what's at the same time the industry does take into account is that stress is a major factor.
Yeah.
People getting paid late, people not being in the right frame of mind at work, people's diets, all this stuff. The industry knows it's causing loads of problems with stress and mental health. But when someone takes their own life, it goes, well, that's not, it's a personal issue. And that is, and it's
cruel,
it's a war, it's a kind of a war we're fighting.
Yeah,
but it's just like, I'm saying, people, if you're not going to take any responsibility for this, it's a reason why we are the top industry for suicides.
I know, it's crazy. I see what you do, it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, why is this not being? So that's kind of like our message on it as well. But we're seeing it now. Like, you look at the brain tumours, maybe the cancer, all different stuff. Who knows what it is? But this stuff does play a factor in people's lives and diagnoses. Along the way. I'm not saying everyone's, but whatever it is. But yeah, especially.
But again, I mean, I'm fortunate that I've got a strong network around me. You guys, I'm fortunate, but right, just paint a different picture.
Yeah,
paint a different picture, but where I haven't got the support on that, and I've got all this debt that I've got nothing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take a lot to push someone like me over the edge to think about topping themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
it wouldn't take much. I mean, I'm strong. I feel strong. So that's not an issue for me. But and again, the different people have different opinions on suicide or whatever. But it wouldn't take a much weaker person to go, what have I got?
Yeah.
I've got debt. I'm going to die of cancer eventually. I might as well just fucking jump.
Yeah.
And that's what's scared
the
and scary
things as well. It's not even, could be a fucking couple of £100.
Yeah.
We've seen horror stories. People, they just have a fucking bad day and go, bang, I'm out.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
But so the support, so that could run through helping support in all angles.
But I also,
but would it take five of me to jump off a building for someone to look at it?
Yeah, well, this is it.
Do you know what I mean?
How many people does it take? I think it's more the point, isn't it? Yeah, that's right.
How many people would it take? So, he done that. He screwed up, didn't have an insurance. Oh, never mind. He just topped himself.
But the thing is, Nick,
you can't make it that light.
The thing is, Bud, you kind of just going right back. How long was it before you kind of went, stomach ache, dodgy calf, dodgy this, going to cut out the bread, rice, all the carb, did the right thing there, mate. But, you still end up in the same. How long was that period? And how many people are going through that?
Yeah.
Because of the pressure of not being able to just
I haven't got time. This is what the pressure of this world as well.
Yeah, it is the pressure of this world. And I went to the doctors, as I say, I went to the doctors, one for the pain, and two, I've been on jobs where I was working in toilet blocks.
Yeah.
So my toilet habits were, if I needed to go to the toilet, I could go to the toilet.
Yeah.
You said about working at Farnborough. My last big job was the Farnborough Air Show.
Yeah.
And
It's around the corner. Yeah.
And the toilets were the toilet block was miles away.
Yeah.
Right. So there I was working as a team, like we were doing this glass work. You got to work together. There's me holding the guy up because I needed to go to the toilet. Yeah. And that's again one of the ones that tipped me over. Are we getting there?
I would drive to Farnborough, no joke, in my Mercedes Sprinter, 6 that big one,
seats.
jumbo, long seat thing. And I would pull up, I'd drive there, and I'd make sure the door was right next to the Portaloo, because I knew I had 3 or 4 steps in me. And that's what it was. And it'd be like 5 o'clock in the morning, mid-December.
Was that before you had
freezing? Before because I was suffering bleed. I had a lot of bleeding. I might go back on it, but I was bleeding, and I knew, like, when I straighten up,
you knew it'd be out.
Niagara Falls is coming.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'd be like, what? And I'd literally get the van up against the bloody Portaloo and know that I was like,
so you laugh about it now.
2.5 steps.
Yeah, you laugh about it now.
It was only because all the lads are like, that Steve, you should get that checked. I'll be all right.
But that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be all right.
No, it was that job. We had like a loaner van, and we had a pillar in the front, and I was going, someone's messed this seat up, lads. This seat's awful. Give me that pillar. Let me see. Pillar weren't working. I was like, in the end, people were going,
your uncomfort.
Yeah. People were going, you need to really go and get it sorted out, because I was like driving from Farnborough to home in agony.
It's the other side, the M25.
Yeah. Mate, some of them old ups were a pain in the arse, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But but that's what makes you go bump. Got to go to the doctors.
Yeah.
And then the story is such.
We'll get some conversations going around how we do it. Who we speak to.
I think you're right, but it needs I can't ring people up and go, hello, I'm Nick Thurston. Like, you know, I've got a car park named after me, but you know what I mean? I've got to talk about insurance. They'll go, fuck off.
Yeah.
But you
Thurston's
guys,
Law.
but you guys with your connections and your, you know what I mean? I think with a few bigger people, bigger people on.
Well, there's a responsibility the industry's got to take, and you can have to look at the history
figures
of it and the figures. And everybody knows guys that can't live hand to mouth for a few weeks. Everyone knows that come Monday morning, a lot of people are skinned. Come the weekend, their pay packet gets blown out and whatever.
That's it.
So it's a reoccurring thing, and people need educating, and it goes all about the school systems and showing people what to do and how. But you don't. When you're 16 or 17 or 18, whatever it is now, you're straight in a building site, and you are literally operating a one-man business as a self-employed worker.
And it's good money as well.
Yeah, and you haven't. Yeah, it's good money. So you're getting all this money through, and then by the time 21, 22 catches up with you, the tax man catches up.
Got
yeah.
But as you say, the guy who blows through his money by Wednesday, he ain't putting no money in insurance before he's blown through that, is he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because he'd be blown through it by Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah. So there's almost a responsibility that needs to come for self-employed workers.
I think it's something that, you know, and I'll you know.
So we get it from the charity side. So we've always said it. I really want a membership sort of thing. We can get not just businesses on board, but obviously individuals, and that is a way of how we can support them and show that how we can support them. And that's it'd be amazing for us.
Well, you could, you could do that, and you could do that, and maybe add that in. I don't know.
Yeah, my brain's going already.
Why not? Yeah. Why not? Because come to sign up, and we can help you this or give you a discount on this.
Do it because we do get a lot. We hear horror stories all the time of all different stuff, and we do try to have a bit of a. We can only support the people we know and a network in a way. And it's almost like we have to have a cut off between we can't go looking to support people, because we haven't got enough funds or support to do that, because there's thousands of these things going on every day. But so whenever something comes in, like your case study number one, let's get that idea. We know this person, let's use their network to bring an event together to support that person. Exactly what Reese has done. Reese has took and then we can get just to help push about it, and we'll do what we do. And that is kind of what we've done over the past year. Like, if companies that are supporting us will help support their people, so we can touch base with their subcontract or their supply chain and bring people together. But because I spoke to a guy who actually was quite senior in DIY SOS.
Oh, right,
they were having serious trouble with the amount of the backroom staff couldn't deal with the amount of refusals they were giving, because they were getting people like quadriplegics, lost their limbs, been at war or whatever, but there was something to do with the background checks, so it means they couldn't do the program on them, and there were so many people wanted a bit of it that they had to refuse so many people. So these girls behind the scene were ringing these people up and saying, by the way, we're not going to be able to support you, knowing that this person
needed the
their support. And there's for that every 100%, so 100% for every for that 1% of people who make it through, there's 99% of people who just get refused, and you think you're refusing people who are in a desperate
so the backroom staff then feel stressed, then they get like the PTSD, if you like.
Because they're the ones that have to focus, and they go through all these cases, case by case as well. So it's like, you've got to have that. That's why we need people to show willing to go, okay,
step
get
up
support.
And do something.
Let's do something, and then let's really highlight those people who've done it.
Yeah.
Do everything you can to support their families, and then everyone goes, fuck me, I'm going to get involved with that. And that's what even like we're playing rugby on Wednesday. 2 days time, actually. We've got 60 rugby players turning up at Saracens Rugby Stadium.
Oh, brilliant.
England versus Ireland Construction. This will go out after it, but England Ireland Construction, and we've got 60, 70 guests coming as well now.
Oh, wonderful.
In the day. And that is literally, we just said it's to create opportunities for construction workers to enjoy themselves, but we're giving the guys a day out that they'll never forget.
Yes, of course.
And they're representing their countries as well. And we've got England shirts, we've got Ireland shirts, a whole kit. They get to take their kit home so they can hang it out and put it in a frame.
Superb.
We were going to get caps sorted out. And then I literally just spoke to a guy. There's not many people does caps like that. And then the main places are like proper caps.
Oh,
well.
right,
I said, we're going to have to get baseball caps.
Private school jobbies.
Exactly. So, but no, a massive thank. I think we've pretty much touched on everything.
It's been brilliant.
Enjoyed it.
When am I back?
Yeah.
No.
It's always time for him. It's always.
He's got to get to bed.
Yeah, no, it doesn't go past 7 o'clock. Mummy, go and take you to bed.
No, this has been
brilliant. Yeah, absolutely, really enjoyable.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, pleasure. Thank you, gents.
Thanks, Steve.
There will be another bit of it.
Thank you.
Some more of Thurston is coming.